What up? What up? Hello. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming by and spending a little bit of time here with me. This is part of the quick market update series on my YouTube, Cheds Trading. Check out the market updates playlist. Check out everything else. I've published a few books. They're mostly free on my YouTube. A ton of educational content. Watch the Masterclass tutorial playlist. I basically take professional TA, classical charting, and candlestick theory, and I try to make it simple and easier to learn. Check out Bitcoin Live, where I do full market reports twice a week. Great team, so consider checking that out as well. Thanks for being here. Say hi, leave a comment in the chat, or leave a comment on the video. I'll try to respond to it, but that's how you can show some love. Hit like, hit subscribe. I'm going to bounce around and look at the chart as always. Then I'll jump into the chat room and look for some interesting questions. So what do we think here? I mean, Bitcoin, a little bit of damage has been done. We're at 96K. Now we have a first EMA 34 tag since around 65. So how do we put that into context? And of course, the Masterclass, this is all free on YouTube, right? The Masterclass tutorial playlist talks a lot about moving averages. And we talk about, let's clean things up a little bit just for a quick little lesson here. So let's even, can we even block it this way? So the EMA 8 is primary uptrend support, right? It's a Fibonacci number, and it's exponentially moving average. I mean, it's more price weighted for most recent action, the most recent price action. And the initial stages of the uptrend, you'll ride it, and you can start to look for when it starts to breach it for a little bit more consolidation. Then you hit that second level, the EMA 34. And we've talked a lot about this here on YouTube, Bitcoin Live, about you watch to see if and when they cross over in the trend. And you have times where it tried to cross, and did not happen. And more so on the weekly chart, how we here with the weekly MA50, the weekly SMA 50, which is kind of an important data point with the price, compared to the price drop in 2021, and viewing this as a deep consolidation within an uptrend, and how the 834 did not cross. So the weekly chart is still in unabated primary uptrend mode, hasn't even tagged the 8. Now, of course, that will calculate in 3 days. Again, oscillators, moving averages, it's when the candle closes. But so far, it's still above the rising EMA 8, a little bit deeper consolidation in the daily. So now we can already put a little bit into context what's happening on the daily. So we have the moving average look, but what we already see from just straight up horizontal, straight up classical charting technique is we started to slice through a couple key levels. And we're looking now on lower time frame for volume. And so we're going to get to that. I have a couple tweets that I brought up that I thought might be interesting to kind of talk about how I think about these levels and how I think about like these situations. So we see we're going to drop to 4 hour now. Let's put the Bollingers back in. So we not only have the lower Bollinger dip, but the first tag of the rising 200. If you track Bitcoin, it's often been a very important market time pointer to watch. So now we have the first test of the 200 since down here at 60K. And that was within a consolidation range. This is the first one right after in advance. So it's almost more what you want to do in these situations is let's see what happened last time there was this strong a trend, and then we had that first dip. So let's just do that real quick for fun. We'll go back. Okay. So here it was. This is a pretty decent analog where we had this move here and maybe you could say our first dip here, our first test. You still continued a little bit higher, but you continued with the consolidation, which eventually continued higher but chopped around for a while. So if it does that, what would that mean for the trend? Well, what that would mean for the trend as we now step back out to the higher time frame is you would essentially still be consolidating in this 90+ K range, which is actually the ideal scenario. The ideal scenario is holding 92K. We talked about why that was the case, where we had with this high wave candle and the largest volume candle since the initial breakout, and how the 92K price zone was respected. And while consolidation is inevitable, should we do what we did on that prior 4 hour candle series? If we did something like that here, it would look like generally a consolidation choppy sideways, which would allow weekly moving averages to catch up while the price retains its gains. So that's still your basic posture as a bull. But the question is, I want to trade it. I want to get long. It's an uptrend. I know it's an uptrend. It's a dip now, but Is it time? Is it time? Okay, now we're dropping to lower time frame. Okay, now let's clean it up a little bit. Okay, we're looking for volume. We had this nice volume candle, but I want to see a cluster of volume. I'd like to see a couple of these together, because we've kind of that's been an important in the past. And if especially if you see my analysis coverage on Twitter, I'm looking for volume clusters. Maybe we can start to build it up here. But even with this nice little hammer candle rolling over, not enough volume on the hammer. I want to see a cluster. So I'm watching for a cluster of volume, one. Number two, I'm just going to play a straight up clean, a spring, a false breakdown and recapture. We're already watching 98.5, and that's been an important level. I've walked it through now, 5 days a week on YouTube, and certainly, in depth on Bitcoin Live. But if you're just looking at this picture, you're still looking at a dip below, this should be a value dip below a rising 200 first test in quite a while. Plenty of demand established in this area, not just recently, but after several times here, right, with the time interval in between these attempts. So, the easiest way, honestly, to take along when you should be looking for one, because it is an uptrend, is just a simple recapture. So that would just be a 98.5K recapture. Absent that, I think you're still watching low time frame, 1 hour. I'm looking for volume, but I'm going to get way more interested back around, 91.5, 92K. Should the price get get back down to there. So I'm going to adopt a posture where I'm going to, at this moment, and it helps to do this after volatility, and it helps to do it before volatility. That's why you want to keep practicing. That's how you want to keep an eye on the chart. As I already know, 92K is the key level. I know 98.5 was the level we just lost. And if I'm looking for a momentum pivot, I can use that. So right there, I now have at least a plan, and I have a way to deal with the volatility, whether we get another leg down or we reverse here. And so that's important to kind of step out and do that. And now it wouldn't help if I hadn't looked at Bitcoin chart in a week, and then volatility happens and I panic a little bit, right? No, you prepare. That's why you prepare all the time. So let me stop in now and say hi to the chat room. I just riffed there for a little while. I see a good 272 live. Folks, please subscribe. I'm trying to run my YouTube up to 100K subs. I'm doing this 5 days a week. Quick market updates. Show some love. Hit subscribe. Hit notifications. What's up, Indy? Always great to see you. He's asking about Advanced Masterclass. I'm going to record a brand new tutorial for the Masterclass tutorial playlist. There's already, I believe, 4 tutorials, and they're all wonderful. I'm going to record a new one talking about the road from 12 to 100K. We didn't exactly go to 12K, but it was 15.5, and I'm going to talk about essentially when I made that call, back in April, and why I thought we were heading down to that range, and then how we saw the bottom and how we kind of played the moves on the way up. It'll be a very good educational, video. So I'm looking forward to making that. So appreciate that. What's up, William? Crypto Milk, good to see you, brother. He says calling MicroStrategy CEO for sure. Folks, I can't read all the chats, but I appreciate you saying hi. Peter says read my books. Thank you. They're mostly free. All right, so let's see. I'm going to get a good question from the chat. So when I say recapture, are you defining that as a 4-hour close? I am not personally. I'm trading intercandle. I'm pretty much, if I'm watching it, I'm trading it. But other people, this is confirmation method. So what would that mean? So we're on 4 hours. So this is a really good question. What would it mean to recapture it? That's going to be dependent on your risk-taking style. Are you waiting for a 1 candle close? 2 candle closes, a certain percentage of move away from the level to confirm? Are you scaling in and then adding on a confirmation, maybe on a 102K flip? That's also quite a reasonable way to play it. I'm kind of working out all this stuff in my trading journal book I'm trying to make it very specific. But so for me though, I'm just trading intracandle. I'm watching it. I'm not even waiting for a candle close because I can watch it. Not everybody can. If you have a regular job, you only check the chart once a day. You got to wait for like a daily candle close or something like that. So you need to tailor your confirmation method based on how conservative you are. So we'll see here. Getting some lower shadows, but I want to see some more volume on it. And really the most convincing thing is an immediate reversal of momentum, a false breakdown and recapture. All right, so that's going to be super critical. 10 minutes so far. Maxine says that was a great intro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Andrew says, appreciate Ethereum. We'll do Ethereum. Maybe we'll do Ethereum. Couple alts. So what do we think about Ethereum? We know it's been weak versus Bitcoin, and I've been skeptical of a reversal of that trend, evidenced by the falling daily MA200. The blue line, simple moving average. But Ethereum on its own, in and of itself, it's been a decent chart. And we can just the evidence of that is stepping on the weekly chart, the rising MA200, the price above, the initial bottoming, the 2100 clear break that we kind of tracked, and then the follow through on that, the throwback, even that shock dip in August. It's rising demand structure. And now just kind of knocking on the door. When you continue to do this, so what does this mean to you in Ethereum, kind of big picture? When I set these highs, again, with time interval in between and distance, right, peak to trough. So this is real deal. This is an important level, right? But when I see it, what do I do now after this last attempt? I'm on higher low watch because it's rising demand structure. Higher lows, it's an uptrend, and I'm watching to see what would make sense. So I'm on weekly, I'm going to drop down a little bit to daily. You'd say, okay, I could see here perhaps maybe a little bit lower, maybe right back around 2,800, right? So this would be a really important level for me to focus on. If I'm wanting, say, to get long on Ethereum, let's say even especially if Bitcoin does a little bit lower too, should it reverse, that's fine because there's some local structure. If you're an Ethereum trader, you're jumping in here, you're kind of looking around in the 1/8, you say, okay, let's get some response. And you're doing something similar to what you were doing with Bitcoin, where you're looking for a momentum reversal, some way to manage your risk. And you could say, should the price reverse and flip 3,500, I can take a long because I know now I have a defined thesis. Either it's bullish above, and if it fails to hold that level, it's out. And that's with any trade. The most important thing is can you define when that idea is going to fail? And in this case would be if it doesn't hold 3,500 on the recapture, right? So that's kind of my sense on Ethereum. We have a first MA50 tag in quite a while. It's a kind of choppy sideways structure on the daily, but the weekly trend is quite strong. Nice little group of you, 330 of you here. Must watch the Masterclass tutorial playlist. I take professional TA, Japanese candlestick theory, and classical charting. I make it simple. Please watch them, beginner and advanced. Check out the rest of these quick market updates. I've published 3 books. I'm working on a 4th one, Trading Journal. Should be out in maybe 6 months. Trading Wisdom, mostly free here. Entire Cancer Memoir is free, and I've tweeted out the entire quotes book. These are quick market updates. If you're looking for something more in-depth, I do a full market update twice a week at Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. It's almost 7 years, and I haven't missed a report. So check that out. These are fun. These are quick. Warm hello and big thank you to everybody for being here. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, I didn't get your chat, but I did very clearly lay out what I think about the momentum of Bitcoin. I would go back and rewatch the video if you think maybe I went too quickly, but I definitely marked out some ways to play it, and I hope that's helpful. Show some love, hit like, hit subscribe, send a comment, and make sure to show up for the next video. I'll do another one tomorrow, probably late morning. So, folks, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Big Cheds out. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.